Hello everyone! As promised, I want to create a short video to give you some information about the upcoming STAY Symposium, whenever it will be, and what you can expect and some tips to help you begin to prepare for that should you wish to. So currently, the STAY Symposium is still scheduled for Friday, May 4th, 2018. Of course, I think you need about 3 weeks advance notice in order to prepare for the STAY Symposium. So if the strike ends before April 13th, we should be able to continue on May 4th, but if it ends after that point, we'll probably have to reschedule it. Nonetheless, what do we know for sure? So we know that the STAY Symposium will be scheduled from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., that you will need to be there if you can between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. 9 to 9:30 a.m. is registration and setup, so this gives you some time to get there, see the room you're going to be presenting in, gather last minute resources, details, put anything you need to set up in the room set up, that kind of thing. Get your name tag, and start mingling with your peers and get some breakfast. The symposium will be from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And then we'll do an STA celebration to celebrate everything you've accomplished this year, and particularly at the STAY Symposium from 3:30 to 4. So that will be just for us in the course. If the symposium continues on Friday, May 4th, we have secured the location. So we will be in the Life Sciences building on the first floor. So we have rooms 101, 103, 105, 106, and 107. And hopefully we'll get to secure those rooms even if we do have to postpone, but nonetheless that will be updated as needed. 103 will be where the two plenaries, the opening and closing plenary, will be, and all 101, 103, 105, 106, 107 will be where your concurrent sessions will be held. So you'll be notified well in advance what time and what room you will be presenting in. We do hope initially it was that you would be required to attend the symposium, but if things get changed around, we may have to be lenient on that, of course. So stay tuned, we'll figure that out as we move forward. Something to note about the rooms. So 103, 105, and 106 are lecture-style classrooms, and 101 and 107 are rooms with round tables and chairs. I would encourage you to consider presenting in the lecture-style classroom and modeling how we can always incorporate active learning strategies and what types of active learning strategies we can do even in a lecture style classroom. So I don't want you to be bounded, confined by the location, and want you to model some of those things so that TAs realize that they shouldn't be confined by the space, that they can still use the space actively, but just how to do that you can model in your sessions. But if you really want to achieve something and the roundtables will work for you, let me know, and I will try my best to ensure that you get your first choice for a room location, assuming these are the room locations that we have. Okay, so that's sort of the logistical pieces about the STAY Symposium, which are not that set in stone. What is set in stone, however, is the structure of the workshops and those kinds of requirements. So each session will be 45 minutes, with an additional 5 minutes for evaluation feedback form completion. So what does this mean? This means that each concurrent session, so the participants will understand that each concurrent session is 50 minutes. But what you need to know or be aware of is that you're designing a 45-minute session, and that additional 5 minutes is to give you time to gather feedback from your participants. You can bring your own feedback forms if you wish, but we'll also supply the usual feedback forms we've been using. So completely up to you. We just need to know in advance to print the copies of your forms if you prefer to use different ones. Your sessions will be done individually, so you won't be working with other people. There's enough concurrent sessions and enough room allocations to allow you to work and design a session completely by yourself. These are to be new sessions, so not repeats of previous sessions. That doesn't mean that you can't choose a topic that you've done for a workshop in the past and revitalize or change or advance that topic and give a new workshop. So the idea is that the workshop is different and is brand new. The topic itself may be something you've covered before. We certainly encourage you to become experts in particular fields. I know in particular We have had experts in teaching social inequalities in the classroom in previous years. Also, defining conflict is something that you may be interested in continuing to develop yourselves. And so there isn't any reason that you can't design a Stay Symposium session on a topic you've covered before. The idea is that you advance that topic in some way. And know that your target audience is experienced TA. So any of the workshops you've given before have been essentially for newer TAs. Not that experienced TAs haven't also been in your sessions, but for example, all of the workshops in the fall semester were aimed at topics for new TAs. So we want you to expand on what you're going to cover and make it more robust and more experienced for your audience. So this is also a tentative thing, but in order to have the programs printed and prepared, if we were to do the Stay Symposium on May 4th, I will need details, so the titles and blurbs of your session for the program by April 13th. And don't forget there's guidelines on Moodle about how to write the blurb. So the length and the components required in the blurb is the same for your workshop as well as the Stay Symposium session. So that's still available to help you there. If you are able to work on this now, that'd be great. And the sooner you can get it to me, the easier it will be for me to plan the Stay Symposium so that when the strike is over, we can really begin. Okay, so I mentioned a little bit about choosing a topic and aiming your session at more experienced TAs. So all of or most of the TAs that attend Stay, of course, are ones that have been TAs for at least 1 year, and most of them will have attended workshops throughout that year. So they're looking for more advanced topics. In particular, we often get feedback which suggests that these participants want new, more sophisticated session topics. So one way to help you decide on the topic is to do some research. So find a journal article or evidence on a topic that interests you and design an interactive session around this topic. So some resources to help you there's a list of educational developer and educational journals, which might have articles that you can browse and find a topic that would interest you. Tips is a publication by Western University. It actually publishes the kind of work that you're doing. So different workshop ideas and research that graduate students or postdocs have done is published in this particular journal. So you can actually look at the workshops that are published there and consider adapting them, or you might even consider publishing in Tips yourselves. Just make sure that you cite the authors for anything that you use. Particularly if you adapt a workshop, they require that you do cite their work, obviously. Finally, Mandy and I are always here, so feel free to ask us for guidance. If you have a particular topic you're not sure about it, send us an email, give us a call, and we can talk through it with you. And of course, your TCT mentors will be there to provide you guidance upon their return once the strike is over. So I hope this is helpful to help get you started and to make you feel like you're able to do something while you're waiting for the STA course to start up again if you're feeling in that position. Not all of you probably are. Many of you are very busy doing many things. But nonetheless, if you can start thinking about your Stay Symposium session, that would be great. All right. Goodbye and good luck.